Hello everyone! It is Cameron here. Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. I hope that you got all the presents you wanted. School combined with lazy equals not doing these reviews, but I'm back because I'm in the holiday spirit and I really wanted to give you guys my opinions because I've seen a bunch of movies in the past 2 to 3 months. I'm going to go quickly through all these movies and I'm also going to share some of my Blu-rays with you just so you see the kind of overall taste I have as a reviewer and film fan. First movie I'm going to review today is actually a movie that came out a really long time ago, and that is The Great Gatsby. I heard such great things from audiences. Every single person who saw this movie told me that it was not good, not okay, amazing. But the critics panned this. I have to say, I'm a little more on the critical side because I was not really a fan of The Great Gatsby at all. I mean, I did not hate this movie. Hearing how great this story by F. Scott Fitzgerald is. It's like the 5th film adaptation of this, and they just can't get it right, apparently, because Baz Luhrmann is really becoming one of my least favorite directors. Style over substance to the point where it's just, like, overwhelming. You need some of that meat. You need meat to your story. You can't just have dressing. That was the weirdest metaphor ever. What's interesting is what I expected to be bad ended up actually being good. The modern-day soundtrack with Jay-Z and Beyonce actually worked really well, and what I thought would be good was the style of the film, but no, these are some of the worst special effects I've ever seen. Hey, Baz Luhrmann, you don't have to CGI a house. You know what you can do? Just rent a house for the movie. Never do CGI! Freaking New York! You know, New York City is a real place, Baz Luhrmann. Kind of mixed on The Great Gatsby. I enjoyed the performances, and it's a great story, and that's what kind of got me through, but it's a very strangely put together adaptation with terrible direction by Baz Luhrmann. I'm going to give The Great Gatsby a C-. Next one we got is Frozen, the new Disney animated film. It's about these two sisters. One of them has the power to, like, ice bend, sort of, and something happens, and so she leaves, so it's up to her sister Anna and the snow guy named Kristoff to go find Anna and restore peace to the kingdom. I'm really excited for Frozen. I saw some footage for Frozen at the D23, which was like Disney Comic-Con, and it was some really fantastic footage. I heard of some amazing things. I heard this was like a new Disney classic, and I have to say, I really enjoyed Frozen. It's a very entertaining, very fun, heartwarming film, and it does feel like a nice throwback to classic Disney, which I love. I mean, you can't not love classic. I mean, you have to be a real cynical asshole to not like Disney animated movies, but I will say, it is not the masterpiece that a lot of people are saying. People are saying, like, this is Disney's best film since, like, The Lion King. I'm sorry. The animation here is gorgeous. Some nice voice work. The songs written by the team behind Book of Mormon and Avenue Q. That is so cool that Disney wanted the guys who wrote those wonderful musicals to do the music for this. I think that's amazing, and there's some really nice songs, especially Let It Go, sung by the great Idina Menzel from Wicked, and it is one of the best songs that I've heard in a long time, and it just, every time I hear it, I just want to, like, you know, punch something and, like, climb a mountain and do great things, but I won't. What's so great about this Disney movie is it's a love story between two sisters. I thought that was very touching, and the way they handle it is very mature. Some of the flaws that I had with the film is that it slows down a little bit in the middle half, becomes a little bit like a generic buddy road comedy. There's nothing here that's truly amazing or mesmerizing, but I did enjoy Frozen, and I think it's a perfect family film. I'm going to give Frozen a solid B. Next one I'm going to talk about is The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. I was looking forward to this one. I thought the trailers made it look really good. It looked like a better film than the original, and I have to say this is a better film than the original. Jennifer Lawrence, man, she is so good. It feels like The Empire Strikes Back, which is Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back of the series is a much darker film. It's a better film. It's a more focused film. It's a much more exciting film, and it deals as a socio-political aspect that is actually really well done. Some scenes that were really dark, but in like a really exciting way, and I was just like, wow, like this is The Hunger Games? Like, the way the film ends is a perfect way to lead us up to the final installment, or the final 2 installments, because since it's a book adaptation, it's got to be in 2 parts, I guess. I think it's one of the better films that came out in 2012, honestly, and I'm going to give it a B+. Next up, we got one of my most anticipated movies of the year, for sure, Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. I was so excited for this movie. I love the first Anchorman. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. I love Will Ferrell. And I'm happy to report that Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues did not disappoint. This is an extremely funny film. But unlike the first one, this one actually has a lot to say. This is actually like a genuinely good film because it's a full-on satire about where news has come and modern news in general, and I thought that was so, and the way this movie handles it is just so clever, so funny, and this is also a Will Ferrell comedy, and it is indeed extremely funny. It's not, to get this out of the way, it's not as good as the first one, but it's not as quotable, but I wasn't expecting it to be. All I wanted to do was go in there, have a good time, and laugh, and that is exactly what I did. If you've seen Anchorman, you know there's the big news channel battle, and that is, there is a version of that here, but think of the battle in the first one, but crank it up to 11, because that's what this is, and there's so many celebrity cameos, and just these hilarious, wonderful celebrity cameos, and that scene is insane. It's a very funny movie that, if you're a fan of the first one, I think you'll enjoy it for sure, and I'm going to give Anchorman 2: The Legend Continues a very, very strong B. The next one I'm going to talk about is Saving Mr. Banks, which is the new Disney film about Walt Disney struggled to get the rights to the Mary Poppins book from the author P.L. Travers. It's a really, really interesting movie. It's a really entertaining movie. It's a fun movie with wonderful acting, wonderful writing, and I teared up at the end. I almost cried. It's definitely one of the best movies of the year. Emma Thompson is just Oscar-worthy as P.L. Travers. I was really worried about Tom Hanks as Walt Disney. I didn't think that was a good casting choice, but I disagree with what I said, because Tom Hanks is wonderful here. He's not doing an imitation of Walt Disney, he's just kind of, which is good. I think that's a good thing. He's embodying the spirit of Walt Disney for sure. And this is a fair portrayal of Walt Disney. This does not, this does not make him a hero. If anything, it paints P.L. Travers in a better light than Walt Disney. The best scenes of the movie for me were with the Sherman Brothers and P.L. Travers when they were working on the film, and just these wonderfully entertaining scenes of this back and forth between them, and kind of a behind the scenes. And for a film fan like me, and Mary Poppins is a wonderful movie, and to see like how the movie was made and this intense creative process was really interesting to me. There's also this whole flashback aspect where we see where Mary Poppins came from the story, because we look at P.L. Travers' childhood and we see how this story came to be, with Colin Farrell playing her father. I mean, Colin Farrell is fine to me, but he's never been this good. He was incredible in this movie. The movie is not perfect. It can get a little schmaltzy at times. It's a little overlong, but I think this is definitely one of the best films of the year. It's charming, funny, it's moving. If you're a film fan, if you love movies in general, I think you should see Saving Mr. Banks, and I'm going to give it a very strong B+. Last film that I'm going to review is David O. Russell's American Hustle, starring Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Jeremy Renner. What a cast! American Hustle follows Irving Rosenfeld and Sidney Prosser, played by Christian Bale and Amy Adams. They are con artists, and they are recruited by this FBI agent, played by Bradley Cooper, to find these corrupt politicians in New York/New Jersey. Now, I was incredibly excited for American Hustle because David O. Russell's last film, Silver Linings Playbook, was the best film I saw last year, and I think it's one of my all-time favorite movies. American Hustle did not disappoint. It's not the masterpiece that some reviewers are saying, but I definitely think it's an incredibly strong film and definitely one of the best films of the year. And David O. Russell, man, I will watch anything this guy makes. He's got such a style as a filmmaker. He's such an original filmmaker. He has such a way of making movies that is so distinct. An aspiring filmmaker, it inspires me to know that there are directors like him making movies all their own, and it's wonderful. And the performances here, this might be the best acted film I've seen all year. Literally, every single performance in this movie is astounding. Christian Bale is so good here as Irving Rosenfeld. He completely transformed. He gained 40 pounds for this movie. He loses weight, he gains weight, he is insane. This is one of her best performances. She is wonderful. Jennifer Lawrence, again, she gives a performance of such ferocity, of such charisma. I think Bradley Cooper was actually my favorite. Now, Bradley Cooper, 2 years ago, was doing, hangover movies and romantic comedies. You would not think that Bradley Cooper would be considered one of the best actors working today, but I think that he is, because from Silver Linings Playbook to The Place Beyond the Pines to here, and this might be his best work to date. He is just so magnetic in this movie. He's a movie that should be nominated. It is Bradley Cooper. I will say a couple problems I have with this movie is that the first half is good, but doesn't quite have as much energy, and it's a little slow at times. Once we get to that second half, all is forgiven, because that second half is the best film I've seen all year, honestly. It is so exciting, it is funny and dramatic and just so intense. It's just a fantastic movie all around. I loved American Hustle. Definitely one of my favorite movies of the year, and I'm going to give it and A-. It's great to be back. I try to be more consistent. I can't promise anything. Comment below, email me, tell me what you think of these movies, and you can follow me on Instagram at cam_changeling1. I just did that. Cameron, and I will see you next time.